there's this unsealed CIA document, right? And it spoke about black leaders. So I'm gonna read the highlighted part, and I could read the whole page too. But the highlighted part to me was interesting. It says the Negro wants and needs something to be proud of. The Negro youth and moderate must be made to understand that if they succumb to revolutionary teaching, they will be dead revolutionaries. How many of our heroes have been taken out?
All of them.
So this is an official file document you can look up. This part was highlighted that their mission was to let us know that if you want to be a revolutionary, you'll be a dead one. So the fact that Dave Chappelle just did what he did on that stage, I think that's him attempting to show us we need to take the power back.
And it's like in today's age, he's pushing the boundaries of almost what a revolutionary is. And I say that very loosely, but people get into certain fields and they push the boundaries of what they say and the ideas that they bring to life, because that's kind of the only way that they can without being X'd all the way out, or at least that's how they feel, because once you go full throttle, like if he jump off the porch, it's no going back.
Because
Yeah,
look,
and I believe what y'all saying, what he did at the end. He believes once he dropped it and reached the masses, he knew the clock is ticking now. I think that's what he's thinking.
Even Dr. Sebi, right? Like he was an unstoppable Negro, because in the USA at the time to say I've cured AIDS was against the law. Took him to trial, beat the shit 2 times or whatever. It's like
a few times.
It's like you doing that now. You out of here too. We got to get you up out of here. So
this is from the Cointelpro, right? So after that highlighted section I read, it said, "Is it not better to be a sports hero, a well-paid professional athlete or entertainer, or a regularly paid white or blue-collar worker, a peaceful human with a family, or a person who at least is being meant by accepted, a person who is accepted, than a Negro who may have got even with the establishment by burning it down, but who along with this burned down his own home and gained for him and all his people the hatred and distrust of the whites for years to come." So in layman's terms, they're telling you, hey, go be an athlete, go be an entertainer, go get a regular job. You try and get even with the establishment, we coming for you and your entire family and all your people that's close to you. This is the Cointelpro. This is why no other race on the planet can talk to us about, man, we struggled too. We was enslaved. Y'all don't have no Cointelpro where they trying to get your leaders out the way.
They got
it's a big difference.
They got immediate green lights on us and any nigga that's rising and with a conscience.
Yeah, they did that with MLK. They did it with Malcolm X. They had their phones tapped. They threatened their family, bombing their house and things like that. I mean,
everybody.
This is like the same telltale song that we've heard for years.
So how do we learn from our leaders' mistakes?
One thing I could say is what Malcolm X did, you know what I'm saying, prior to him having to fall out with the nation, unity, be militant. If we stay militant amongst us, we do become dangerous, so they're less likely to threaten us or attack us.
Right.
It's gonna sound crazy, but people should watch Hunger Games.
Which one?
Mockingjay or whatever it's called, part 1 and 2, because it shows how District 12 is like this poor district, and Katniss, and they're the winner of the Hunger Games, and they find this underground district, District 13, but they're able to build an army and build a propaganda through like media and all these different things that they have to take over and beat the Capitol. But I think people should watch it because it kind of shows to a certain degree.
You think it correlates?
What we might have to do, because they were very low key about what they did, about the army they got, and they were strategic on how they tapped into like the satellites and shit. So the Capitol, they got the satellites. They're giving you the images. No, we tapping into it now. Our people are telling you, this is what you need to follow. This is what you need to do. So it's a lot of things that show maybe what we might need to do if it comes to.
Now look, it says one way to reach the Negro youth and moderate might be through searching, examination, and revelation of the true goals of Black nationalist organizations presented in a way that Negroes will realize the dangers ahead of them if they do succumb to the appeal, fear, or intimidation to which they will be subjected. Meaning, we need to implant the thoughts in the minds of the youth of all the dangers and the death that will come for them if they even attempt of becoming militant nationalists and going against the powers to be. And we see that in everything. Y'all ask why these rappers don't speak up, why these podcasts ain't saying that, why this, that. Cointelpro, they letting you know the game plan right here. We
And-
done seen so many of our leaders fall, so much of our people try and fail that the fear is implanted where people going, man, fuck it. Let me get some money. Let me live happy with this family like they told your ass to do, like good little boys. And let us do what we doing.
And this is why we need to acquire this knowledge. And this is why people need to smarten up in a sense and start doing their homework. Because the more you know, the more you're able to control and move around in a sense. If you don't know nothing, it's easy for people to run circles around you. They've been giving us the same playbooks since the beginning of time, but they just keep making it elevated and sharper and stronger. Same way they took the biggest black man, beat him in front of everybody, made everybody else weak. What do you think they doing in the media with us? What do you think they doing with the people that's getting out here? They whooping them. What you
Now read that because you said the media. Read C.
The militant Negro makes spurious claims and charges and tends to rewrite history. Wherever this is done, it should be counteracted. Must be done in a medium which reaches the entire Negro population. There are papers and magazines which should be used if they will accept this material. If they don't, radio and especially TV should be utilized.
Yeah.
And that's even more crazy because we tell people all the time on here how you are programmed from these TVs, how you are programmed from these ads, how you are programmed from the music. And like you said, this is why we don't get the music that we used to get back in the days. And that's why you have people like Tupac that fought against this stuff. And he said it clear day as his stuff. What are you going to do when you can't talk about clubs and women and females? He said, we're going to get back to the stuff that we own because they ain't got nothing else to talk about. That's why Tupac's soul is still embedded in history right now.
Yeah, that's deep. It's crazy because you talk about Cointelpro, like, and it's, if anybody's seen Judas and the Black Messiah, how they were physically putting people within different Black Panther parties to, make things come to blows. I feel like it's probably that in the industry too, where you're a rapper or a singer and you got the A&R next to you, and he's probably that Cointelpro giving you certain information. You should go this way or you should do that. So it's such a crazy battle that we're fighting from all angles.
Agents of chaos like that. That's crazy. Anywhere where we're telling our people this, that, and the third, giving the playbook that rewrites history, meaning goes against the history that they taught us, the lies that they taught us, anywhere that's going on, they said they need to counteract and they need to utilize a source that reaches the masses, magazines, music, TV. That's the same thing that's going on today. Now they're using social media, the internet. So you see how it progressed? It went from newspapers, then it went to the magazines, then it went to the music, then it went to the television, and now it's on the internet.
The bottom
propaganda.
Same playbook.
The bottom line is this. Your melanin that we got, like we say, is worth more than gold. Imagine that. The one of the main things that's the highest stock of value on this earth that they praise or that they want to consume. You are worth more than that. You Black kings, Black goddess. That's how they look at you for real. But they don't want you to look at you like that for real. Understand your greatness, know your worth, know your value. And that's why more so than ever, people have to really become aware of what's really going on. I know people tired of standing in the mud. I know niggas is sick of it. I don't care what nobody say. It's about time we get to a point where things had to got to start being laid down. The foundation has to start being set. And it start with us. It start with you.
Malcolm X said that you control the media, you can control the people. And that's why propaganda is strong. What do you see in yourself will have the people thinking of what are they of themselves. So if you think negativity of yourself, if the propaganda of negativity is dumb, stupid, slow, whatever the case may be, that's the self-image you're going to have of yourself. When you start speaking positive, like you just said, kings, goddesses, you start having the people think in that motion and start moving in that way, it's going to be hard to control because now you got everybody operating not as one leader, but as a group of leaders.
But they don't want you to know about your third eye. They don't want you to know you can operate from a higher self, which is connected to a God consciousness. They want us to operate from our lower selves. That's why it's liquor stores on every corner. That's why they putting the drugs in the communities and things in that sense, because they don't want you to really understand that about yourself. So I just think it just comes to a point where people gotta relearn a lot of stuff.
So,
Knowledge is the power, man, and we here to get y'all the knowledge. And speaking of relearning yourself, do you think Andrew Tate and Jake Paul needs to relearn themselves?